and Conversation. You gotta tune in to Coffee and Conversation with Collette. That's me. Thursday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the only station, WHPR TV 33. See you soon. Amazing morning to you. Happy New Year, rise and shine. I was about to moonwalk on y'all this morning. I just felt like that. I was just going to slide on in and moonwalk on y'all this morning in my plies thing. You know, I have a, I'm caught up on plies right now, everybody. So if I get on the zigs a little bit, you know, I'm just some extra energy. Great, amazing morning to you. Happy Thursday. It's the first of the year. We're here, 2018. Aren't you excited? Are you elated about everything that's going to happen to us and for us this year? I know that you are, because we have had the conversations that we needed to have had in 2017 to be clear that it's really not about what anybody else does. It's about us. That we are now walking in a space in which we know that the life and death is in our tongue and our actions. And a lot of you all might say, well, Collette, no, I still am going to hold them accountable. Absolutely. We're going to hold everyone accountable. But you can't hold someone accountable if you don't know what to hold them accountable for. To thine own self be true. So today on this show, on this edition of Coffee and Conversation with Collette, and I'm Collette, I do my curtsy. Everybody, it's new year. It's new beginnings. It's a new you. That's what we're going to talk about. Because I have some topics. We can get into that. But I really need us to be very clear about where we want to go in 2018. So maybe, I'm not even going to say maybe, that's what's going to be our focus for this top of the hour, to define what we learned in 2017, and with that, how we're going to move into 2018. Because I believe that you can't have a plan, you can't create a policy, you can't create procedures, you can't do an analysis, you can't create an assessment if you have not critically assessed or analyzed the situations prior so that you would know what to do going forward. And the truth is, it's all in you. It's all in you. And I'm telling you, if I don't tell you anything else, and if you don't believe anything else from me, please know that when you are balanced, everything changes. I can't stress it to you enough. When you have balance, everything in your life is different. And I mean for the good now, because things can change, things do change, but you will be in a space where you are complete. And I can only say that to you coming from what my experiences have been. And I shared with you all briefly about my family story, that they separated, my parents separated when I was 2, and from their challenges as adults and not necessarily knowing how to communicate, not necessarily having the best role models, not having the right people, having the right kinds of conversations with you, they made some decisions that kept them apart. And so then they proceeded to finally officially divorce when I was 12. And then kind of the rest is history. And for this season of thankfulness, I told you, for this holiday season, I was able to have my mom and my dad together. And so I appreciate your patience in my delay this morning, because I had to get my dad off on his travels back home. And so I have to let you all know that at the end of the day, the completeness that I received from being with my parents for this holiday season is monumental. And if you notice that I've had to change my tone and my energy, because if not, you all know that I'm very high strung and I'm very rah-rah, I would start crying because I'm just overjoyed. I am so filled and I'm so complete and I'm so thankful and I'm so in awe of the amazement of God that afforded us to be able to come back together 44 years later. And I'm telling you, our energies together, we were all working as one. We would walk into a place together, everyone would stop and say hello. Like, no matter where we were, when the three of us came into the building, everyone would stop. I believe it was the energy that we gave. It was the welcomingness that we gave. It was who we represented ourselves to be, because that was the love that was emitting from each one of us into the universe. And it made a difference. And it has made the difference for me within these 2 weeks. And so for anyone who needs encouragement right now, I'm just going to tell you that if you are honest enough to deal in the truths of your life, and that you know that our humanness affords us to have challenges, affords us to make mistakes, affords us to be in a space where we can learn to be better, then you take that and then you make it better. You take the tragedy. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and I'll tell you all, it's great when individuals reach out to you because they know that they need a word from you, right? And so I was elated that he gave me, well, he didn't even give me a call. I had to go into his place of business, and he was like, I was about to call you. And he was sharing with me some of the issues that he was going through, and that's just growth. And I told him, I said, but you know, the blessing in your scenario is you don't have to get the lessons through the death of a loved one, through the unexpected illness, through those things that could just totally throw you off. You can get the lessons and grow because you have the birth of your new daughter and the energy that she gives you and the happiness and the joy that she is. And so that is enough to make it better for you. And so I'm just telling us today that you have to always be mindful of your narrative. Always. Because if you're not honest in your situation and mindful of your narrative, it will change how everything happens in your life. How you look at things, how you speak on things, how you communicate with people on things and in situations, and what you're able to create or not create, how you can disarm situations, how you can ultimately be victorious in what it is that you desire. But it all begins with you. We've had these conversations. Everyone, tries to go back and forth. No, it's not it has to be me and my. Well, guess what? It can't be me and my, or my, us, we, until it's I. I have to get myself together. I have to be on one accord. I have to be structured and focused and be clear about where I am and how I'm walking in purpose and what my purpose is in order to be beneficial to you. So that's the beginning of our time this morning. We're going to talk, that's New Year, New Me, welcome 2018. Happy New Year. So my intro quote to us this morning, it's not even a quote, it's just a statement. This year, live in the moment. Start each day with gratitude. Laugh more. Create meaningful connections. Meditate. Focus on the positive. Believe it all will fall into place. Stick to your goals. Be generous. And choose to be happy. And I know I've gotten some callers and you all say, oh, Collette, well, everything can't be positive and you can't be positive and everything isn't about positivity. Yes, it is. Let me just say that to you. Yes, it is. Because you can walk in your negativity and you tell me how that works for you in getting things done. You walk in that negativity. I want you to look back on all of everything that you've gone through in 2017 and you tell me how negativity has helped you. You tell me how negativity has opened doors for you. You tell me how negativity has sparked thoughts and ideas that can create business opportunities and other ways to communicate and create opportunities for yourself and other people. You tell me how's that working for you? How does it look on you? Negativity, does that look real good on you? And so in the midst of having that assessment of the year that we just completed, as you prepare, because we're all into 2018 right now, as you have done that, I want you to be honest. To thine own self be true. Look in that mirror, look at yourself, and say, what is it that I have done in 2017 that has proven to be beneficial? Kind, necessary, beneficial. Those are some additional 3 E's. Is it necessary, beneficial when you speak to others, when you interact with others? If what I've been able to endure and engage in, has it been afforded the opportunity for education, enlightenment, and empowerment? And as much as you want to fight those things and you want to think that that is not real and that you think that it's idealistic and you think that it doesn't have any relevance in where you are in your life, I'm here to tell you that it does. It does. And even if you're going through something, it makes it better for you while you're going through it, because you know that you will go through it, pass through it. You don't stay in it. So I'm just asking, do you have that energy? Do you know what that new year looks like for you? Are you ready to walk into a fullness of your truth? Because see, a lot of times, let me let you in on something. A lot of times people don't want to deal in the truth because they don't believe that they can get the desired outcome. They feel that if they kind of not so much tell the truth, if they just kind of deflect from it, if they talk around it, if they really don't bring it up, that they'll still be able to get what they want to be able to get what they want. They don't feel that if they can tell the truth, if they walk into their truth, that who they deal with will still afford them what they want. Whatever what you want looks like. It could be in your personal relationships. It can be in your professional relationships. It can be in how you interact with any people in your family. Whatever it looks like, you can still get what you want by being truthful. And the truth is, you might even end up getting more because you've allowed yourself to be visible. The true you. A lot of people don't like that because they believe that that vulnerability would afford some kind of, what is it? Not even that mismanagement, but that allows people to use things against you. They can't. When you tell your truth, people can't use things against you. It's your truth. It's mine. So you can't hold me hostage on my truth. Because it's my truth. How's that? So whatever it is, it's my truth. Everyone else can come up with things, try to say things, try to create some kinds of conversations about you. But of course they're going to talk about you because that's what they do. You should always know that if you are walking in line with what's going on in the universe, people are going to talk about you. They're going to want to talk about you. They want to assassinate your character. They're going to want to be you. They're going to want to not be able to engage with you. That's just what's going to happen to you when you're doing what you're supposed to do. Think about it. When you're in a space when stuff's not really popping, you're not really walking in your purpose, you're kind of mulling around doing the everyday thing. It's not too fancy. It's not too exciting for you. You don't really have problems. You just don't. Because there's nothing that you're presenting in the universe that's causing people to create an uproar about you. There's nothing that is shifting in the atmosphere that says, okay, you know what? He or she is really doing something. I'm going to try to throw something in there to block them. I'm going to try to throw something to derail them. If you're not really doing anything, you don't have to worry about that. Because all it is lip service. Because the universe knows that actions bring those types of engagements. If you just talk, the universe doesn't care about talk. Because you're just talking. We talked all last year, right? We talked. We talked about the educational system. We talked about the governmental system. We talked about who we should elect and why we should elect them. We talked about the power being for the people. We've talked about how it should be, and in the midst, you still see the news articles that Flint students and young people and citizens are still drinking bottled water. You see that DPS is still missing viable monies under this new leadership. You see that there's still bribery and corruption in the police department. You see that we still have conversations going on so people can try to jock for a position for the next congressional seat, but no one is actually coming up to the plate to talk about why the people won't be represented for the first 11 months, and that's okay. We're so busy, again, trying to get a title as opposed to just doing the work to make sure we're covered. Because if you just do the work, you'll get what's coming to you. I commend the young man who happens to be running and said that he's suing the governor because the governor's actions have not caused for an immediate special election for the people to choose who they want to fill the seat. I commend him because it shows action. It shows that I take this position seriously, and it shows that I understand that the people are going to be at a disadvantage because we all know that things are happening in Washington. You all know that they're trying to deal with this tax bill right now. You know that NAFTA is up in arms right now. We know that the president is trying to hold votes hostage for this wall and the Dreamers Act and everything that he's trying to now bully through. So you know that stuff is happening. But we won't have any representation in this district because the governor has decided that there's no need for that. They don't have to have representation. And everyone who was vying for the position, no one said anything about it, except this young man who's running for office. And so the truth is, the issue isn't about if he's going to be favorable in the outcome. The truth is that the action which started the conversation of saying, I'm going to hold you accountable for who you say you're supposed to be and who you say you can and what you say you're supposed to be able to do as this elected official that's going to benefit the people, you're not doing it. And so I want us to talk about that. And so in that conversation, to me, he's winning all day. Whether he is actually elected by the people, he's winning. Because he understands the importance of creating a voice and speaking out against an issue that it goes against the will and the viability of a thriving community when you don't have a representative to be able to sit at the table and speak on your behalf. He's winning. So there was something in him that said, you know what? If this is who I want to be, if this is who I say that I am, if this is me saying I want to fight for the people and I want them to select me to be this new congressional representative for this district, then what better way than to open my mouth right now and to create a stand and to say, I'm going to sue the governor because he is not doing under the law what is right by the people. So what better way to me could I represent you if you didn't see me doing that? But he had to understand and not be in fear. A lot of us in this new space are still living in fear. We're just so afraid to try it. We're just so afraid to put our foot in the water. You know how they say just put your foot in the water, just dip it in the water? We're just so afraid of that. What are you afraid of? If it's not any better for you where you're doing it and how you're doing it right now, what are you afraid of? It can only either create an experience where you're going to learn, and so you'll do it better the next time, or you'll be so successful in that you'll figure out how to keep doing that better and gain success. It's a win-win either way. But you know what? We can't get into that if we are not still true to the us. So this is a new beginning for us. A new year, a new you. What does it look like? I want us to go to the clip. We're going to have, and you can call it our Motivational Thursday if you want to. It's not a problem. We can call it our Motivational Thursday. We're going to go to this clip because I want to sow some things into you that will have you thinking. Because I need this to be the best time for us as we look and forecast into 2018. So I want you to enjoy the clip. Then we're going to come back to the lines, okay? We'll be right back.
You're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. New year, new me. New year, new me. What separates us is transformation. The possibility of change. The desire to evolve. The passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. I'm tired of doing what I used to do. If I always do what I've always done, I'll always be where I've always been. I'm going to throw it behind me. Somebody in this room that nobody would think would be in a church tonight, but you drew them to this place tonight because you want them to be a new me in a new year and have a new attitude and a new mind. Because the real battleground is in your mind. That's where the fight is. You lay down with it. You get up with it. You go to work with it. You can't digest your food because of it. Smiling in front of people and nobody knows that there's gunfire going off in your head. It's not a geographical location. It's not debt. It's not money. It's not haters. It's not enemies. It's not liars. It's not backbiters. That's not the battleground. Stop wasting your weapons on what people say, because it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you. What I'm trying to tell you, beloved, is that you can have a new year, but it don't mean jack diddly if you don't have a new mind. I'm telling you that you can buy a new car, but if you put the old man in a new car, you're still going to have the old experience. I'm telling you that a new house doesn't make a new marriage. I'm talking about a new outfit doesn't make you a new person. And if you think you are magically going to be a new person, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because new life comes from a new mind and a new way of looking at your life. I cannot step into the future and still think in my past. I cannot let the rumors and the stain of what they said about me destroy my opportunity. Slap somebody and tell them I gotta kill it tonight. I gotta destroy it tonight. I gotta get rid of it tonight. I gotta throw it behind me tonight. I can't drag that same old mess into another year. You have to fix the mind before you can bestow the blessing, because until they get their mind right, everything you invest in them is going to leak out of the crevices of a mind that refuses to change.
Did you all get that? You have to fix the mind. I wanted you to get it. I wanted you to get that so much of what we think things are, that at the end of the day, that's not what it is. You heard, and that was a great clip from Bishop T.D. Jakes. You know, I love the conversations that he has. And so I wanted to share that with you. That a lot of times you can make it fancy, right? This is all this is, the facade. You can make it fancy. You can put the new clothes. You can get the new house. What do you say? You can get the new car. You can get all those things. But if you're not better, who you put in them is the same person. And so you'll get the same outcomes. And so I'm asking us, as we prepare for 2018, are we those same people? Do we even know what we want? Do we even understand who we are to be better? How to make our scenarios better? And not keep pointing our fingers at everybody else. What you heard, the biggest challenge that we have is understanding who we are and believing who we are. That's called psycho-cybernetics, everyone. We talked about that last week. That it's not about what other people say about you. It's what you believe about you. It's who you believe you are. And yes, you can give me all these scenarios about what people say and what the situations are and all the statistics. I get all of that. And then what? We know where we live. We know where we are. We understand who America is. We know who America isn't. So when are we going to take responsibility to say, now that I know who they are, and because I know who they are, they haven't changed the situation for me. They're not going to change the situation for me. I need to know who I am so I can change the situation for me while they're doing what they do. I'm asking. So I'm going to go to the line, everyone. You all know we're live. This is live in color. We're live in the studio today. I want you to call in if you didn't know the numbers, 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, or 313-868-4336. And if you might not even know, I respect that. If you say, Collette, you know what? I really don't know. I really didn't think about it. I've really just fallen into what we normally do. I've fallen into, the ball dropping and aha and Old Lang Syne. Did y'all even read the words to Old Lang Syne? I did. It's a Scottish poem. Do you ever wonder why we're reading and singing a Scottish poem in America? To old acquaintance be forgot. So you want to leave them back back into that last year? Do you even wonder that? But are we just so caught up in what it is all is that we just fall right on into it? And so we go back to doing the same things because we're caught up into this culture and this momentum, not necessarily having to be beneficial for you, but it's all you know. I'd rather you just say, Collette, I don't know. Let me go to the line and see what you have to say. Thanks for your patience. Great morning to you. Caller, you there? Oh.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning. Are you there?
Oh, okay, it must be the delay.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah. That was beautiful to start that TDJ speech off.
Nice.
Because that is something that we've been talking about for a long time. I said on Richard's show, and shouts out to Richard Harris there, so I still be thinking about Richard.
Absolutely.
And I said the revolution will start in your mind first.
Okay. Yeah.
If you know me, I've always said you. It's all on you. Yeah. You giving cards in life is how you play them.
Yes. Yes.
And in 2018 and beyond, that should be anybody's mantra, that I can do it. That, like I was kicking it with a group, and we were talking about hustling.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm to the point now where I can make $300 a week without a job.
Okay.
I don't have to sell drugs. I don't have to stick no one up.
Okay.
I can go into my own box of creativity and bring something out that can bring me a minimum of $300 a week.
Congratulations to you. Let me say that. Congratulations to you. Absolutely. Believing, because see, sometimes we miss giving the kudos and giving the support where we need it. Everyone, that's no small feat. Let me just say that. I want you all to get that. As opposed to some people thinking, oh, it's only $300. Well, no. It's on his own time, based on his own mindset, creating his own product or service, and then creating a revenue. So that's huge. Let me just say that, and congratulations to you. Please continue your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I want people to understand that concept, because I am a missing factor in someone else's plan to get rich.
Nice. Yeah.
If 50 of me was doing what I was doing, we would see a change, not only in our community, but in the economic structure of your state. Because it's all dependent on you servicing them.
Yes.
Look at you got some Arabs who will not spend a dime with you, but will want you to spend all your money with them.
Yes.
They rather you work for them and give them everything, because they want you to believe that they could do you better than you can do you.
Yes.
No one can treat you better than you, and no one can hurt you worse than you.
Yes.
You see? So if you want the things that you feel like you want in life, I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to get them working for no one else. You could work and still have the mindset to do your own thing on the side.
Yes.
But there's going to come a time when you're going to say, well, what do I really, really want to do?
Yes.
And I'm of the mindset, and have always been of the mindset, that I don't have to protest.
Right.
I don't have to march. I don't got to march on land since Collette.
Okay.
All I got to do is get you to change your mind.
Yeah.
All I got to do is get her to change her mind. All we got to do is get them to start living differently. Yeah. And there is your revolution. Nice. There is your protest. Yes. There is your march. All I got to do is stop going to them and spending my money. Right. It's just that simple. What we asking for and what we want is right before us. It has always been like the donkey and the carrot. The carrot is right there, but yeah, he just keep going, and the donkey ain't figured out. How I'm just gonna grab this carrot?
Right.
Well, stop running after it and grab the dang old carrot.
Right.
It may not look the way the movies put it.
And wait, and
But
stay right there.
in
6 words, stay right there. And I want to put this out there because I don't want you all then to go back and say, oh, they're saying that protesting is bad. No, we didn't say that. Okay, let me just say that. For those who feel that their way of making a difference and creating a conversation through protest, absolutely, we commend you for what you do and thank you for coming out and doing that. Let me just say that. But it's not for everyone. So, I wanted to say that because I don't want people to go back and say, or I'll get calls later that say, Collette, you all were poo-pooing on the people protesting. No, we're not saying that. All we're asking, though, is, to his point, is that while you're in the midst of the protest, at some point, you have to have a comparative to say, is my protest creating progress? How's that? And if I'm not progressing because of my protest, I might need to create another plan. But please continue.
And that plan is always, just like TD Jakes say, it's all in your mind and how you respond to the call of action.
Yes.
If you know that there's something not right, then the power is in you to make it right.
Yes.
You don't have to go to it's not in Mike Duggan. It's not in Governor Snyder. The power has always been in us. It's just when you go and ask, you put yourself in people's power.
Yes.
When you decide to yourself that I'm going to see who's going to allow me to.
Yes.
When I talk to people about doing stuff, that, well, let's see if that can be done, or I got to make sure that it's like, who validation do you need to be successful?
Nice. Nice.
You don't need nobody's validation. That's the best thing about success. You don't need no one's validation to become successful. You can go to college and get a degree, or you can come up with a bracelet that says, I love Jesus, and sell it for $2 at every Walmart in America.
Right, right. But I think it goes back to what you're saying, and thank you so much for that and giving your experiences as an example, because a lot of times, again, we talk about talk, and we're so great at talking, but there's no action to show that it's viable. You gave a conversation, you showed by example what you're doing and what your business line and your apparel line has done, and it's creating wealth. I don't care what anyone says. It's creating wealth, and so you're going against the grain of a mindset that says that you can't, or that everyone else can, and that you can't. So thank you so much. I'm going to make sure I get all the lines in today, all the callers in today, because I want everyone to talk about what is amazing for them and what you're going to learn and who we're going to be in 2018. So thank you, 6-4. Have an awesome day, all right? Thanks for your call. Great morning to you.
How you doing today?
Great. How are you? 8 Mile.
All right. I'd like to give a shout out to TV33, Comcast 91, WHPR. Let's give a shout out to R.J. Watkins, and Tyler, Perryman, his Money Making Diva, Hair Doctor, Miss Collette,
thank you.
All other TV show hosts at TV33.
Yes.
Happy New Year, DJ Minor National Hip Hop.
Yes.
First, I would like to speak for the people of my community. We're just going to come out and say, we love you, Mr. Collette.
Oh, thank you. I love
you bring a new, refreshing aspect of real life to our community.
Thank you.
Meaning, for one, you're highly intelligent. A lot of people don't respect you for that. I learned that myself.
Thank you.
So I want to say thank you for allowing people to know that. No matter if you come from a community that's classified as functionally illiterate, you still can be successful. But what you do is you pull people up with you as opposed to just leave people here like so many before you and so many our age have.
Yeah. Thank you.
When you talk about resurrecting Highland Park, people really don't understand the true meaning when through your action, how you've been trying to resurrect Highland Park. Not just Detroit, not just your property, but a community that you personally know has been hurting for the last couple of years. When it comes down to city services, when it comes down to residents, it's just not the same in our Tri-County area. So I want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
So a lot of people don't know that's been an inner mindset that you have as far as resurrecting Highland Park. That area of land in the middle of Detroit between Euclid, what's that, Cortland, and Sycamore.
Yep, Tuxedo.
So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I hope the residents of Highland Park put forth a little more effort in helping you resurrect their city.
First first of all, wait, stay right there. And I appreciate that. And let me just say those are the people who've gone before us. I gave the acknowledgement last week of Elder Earl Willer, who went on. He transitioned out of this physical life last week, and I stand on his shoulders, and I stand on Mother Naomi's shoulders, and I stand on Dr. Amina Omar's shoulders, and I could go on about those great pioneers of this city that I've come to love. And the truth is, it's for every community. But I also learned in the midst of my fights and struggles here that sometimes you just have to let people bump their own heads. So again, you make a great point. So then I can present it to this beautiful city that if everything that you have been doing, I want you to look back and determine if it's working out for you. If it has produced what you know that this city can be, as opposed to you saying what the city used to be, what we used to have, how we used to live. If everything that you've taken and the steps that you've made over this last year, you feel that have been beneficial in creating this world-class city that you believe Highland Park to be, then kudos to you. And I ask you all to continue to do that as you enter into 2018. But if indeed the outcome is not what you expect, if indeed the outcome is not what you believe it to be, if indeed it is not what you believe is the best efforts put forth for this great city, then I ask and implore you to look at yourself and then make sure you create identities and relationships and plans to make it better. So let me just say that. Please continue your thought.
Okay.
Sure.
The second thing is, I would like for your listeners, as of today, to think about this. Okay. Stop thinking that politicians can save your life.
Wait, stay right there. Everyone, did you hear what he said? So, DJ A-Miles asking us to stop thinking that politicians are going to be our saviors. Ooh.
Because a lot of people that look like us rely on federal government or government jobs and public education.
Sure. Okay.
People that look like us did not create the laws. People that look like us did not acquire the property. People like us did not make the laws that pay the taxes to maintain. We became here secondary. We've never been here primary. So we've always followed what was already established. So when we walked into something, it was hunky-dory. But when the people that live in the city that's 42% functioning literate took over, look what happened. Yeah. Nobody want to look at it like that. Yeah. Okay? We lived in the city that at one point in time, there was a school administrator that was making more money on a one-year basis than the president. Residents of the city try to forget about when we was paying $100,000 for somebody to be on the school board. Yeah. And they was making more money than President Reagan. Yeah. Our city set the standard in how I pay for government jobs. Now, when it came down to a point where, I'll have a parent that work for the city, so I ain't hating.
Okay.
I'm being honest. Okay?
Okay.
A lot of us look at city jobs and public education as the answer. Sure. But at the time, there was no extra effort, no volunteers. Sure. Like today, nobody attend a parent-teacher conference meeting. Like today, you don't see parents walking around with their kids in these schools. Yeah. Like today, you don't see people in our community volunteering to make sure things are getting done. Yeah. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. You need to stop having politicians.
Hold on one second. Let me just say as a whole, because there are people who are. Let me just say that again. We're not trying to paint this broad brush that's going to dispel, but there are people that are. It's just not as many as they should. And from a time when we were growing up, not as many as it's reflected today in the action. So please, and I'm going to give you another minute, and then I got to take this other call before we wrap up.
Okay. So the thing is this. Okay. I would like for it to be a day called Family Day. The residents of our community to go outside, go into their immediate community as a group, and just let it be known that they're part of their community.
Nah. Well, you know what? And stay there, though. Why do we have to implore us to be community? Our biggest successes have come when we act like we were community. I mean, so you see what I'm saying? Like, so maybe we're constantly reinventing and bringing things back to our remembrance
Mm-hmm.
of what we have already done and what we know to work for us, but we still won't do it.
But I have to say the reality though, because I grew up here. This
Okay.
past New Year, I'm going to get off the phone. They must have made a law about that felony about firing guns, because there was nowhere near the amount of guns being shot off this year in previous.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's hard to be community when you hear gunshots every day. That's what we have to deal with as a community, using guns to solve problems. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
my
you so
call.
much. We appreciate it. So everyone, so Amal said, you just got to go back to community. We got to go back to who we were supposed to be or who we believe ourselves to be. Thanks so much for your patience. You have the last call for today. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Of course, I'm here. This is Ordinary Joe.
You're not
Let me say, first of all, Happy New Year to everyone that resides on the third stone from the sun.
Nice.
Secondly, you, 8 Mile, and 6'4", the three of you are incorrigible. But it's a beautiful encouragement.
Thank you.
I don't know what to respond to. Y'all done said so much. But what I like to do is respond to your opening statement about what are we going to do about 2017. First of all, the wisdom of the future indeed is the past. However, if a bear steps in the same bear trap twice, should he not lose his other foot?
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Now I want to give my take on the new year.
Okay.
And it has to do with what I perceive to be as power, as strength.
Okay.
A lot of people think that intellect is powerful, and it is. And they think that physical prowess is power. But if we're going to get through 2018, we have to master the only thing that's going to get us through 2018, and that's the willingness to change.
Yeah.
If we're going to get powerful, we're going to have to change, not be intellectually powerful or physically powerful.
No.
We're going to have to accept change and
Yes.
take that
Yes.
and use the wisdom of the future,
Yes.
of the past, to make a better future.
Yes.
I also want to mention a gentleman that called Minister Malik Shabazz's show
Okay.
yesterday. He calls himself Detroit Red.
Okay.
This guy is very intelligent and very wise, and I would like him to come and join Ordinary Joe and this motley crew of angels that we represent in the morning.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Detroit Red. I gotta find him. Okay.
Strength is in unity and in power, as I
Yes.
think 8 Mile was trying to say.
Yes.
Ultimately, a man is the sculptor of his own fate.
Yes. Yes.
Also, I would like to shout out to Hodo,
Yes.
right, and tell Hodo that a gin, right,
Yes.
only the man that let the gin out of the bottle can put that gin back in the bottle. And I know Hodo understands exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
for
so
taking
much,
my
Ordinary
call, and
Joe.
I anticipate Baba Jihad calling in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, everyone, I think he said it. I think actually, Ordinary Joe summed it up best for us. And at the end of the day, if you understand and look at the models from which we've lived and which we've experienced, that in order to make the future better, you have to be open to the change. Just like that last digit change, 2017 is now 2018. We are changing. It is changing whether we like it or not. It is changing. So when you acknowledge the change, when you are in a space to know that is what it is, then you have to be open and willing to understand who you are and to how to make those scenarios better. And I know a lot of you all might have thought, I mean, I'm getting text messages and, it's too foo-foo for you this morning. It was too much love and positive energy for you this morning. And that's okay, because we're still going to keep giving it to you. We're still going to keep loving you. We're still going to keep sowing and feeding that into you, because I promise you that you're going to think about it. And I pray that as you continue throughout your day today, you're going to think about it. And it's going to be better for you. And then when we come back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to have another conversation, you'll be able to engage and talk about how that positivity is making things better for you in your life. So thank you for the time. Our time is up. It's always a pleasure to be in great conversation with you. Wouldn't want to be anyplace else. So stay tuned in to this wonderful station and the next host that's coming in and, the information that you're going to get, because it's going to make you better. That's our goal 2018. We will be better. It's our year. So thank you again. I look forward to spending time with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. bright and early. I'll be here. See you then.